Hey, what's going on YouTube? Hiker Dave NE here. Beautiful fall morning here on Saturday morning. I'm going to go for a hike. That fan sound you're hearing is I'm charging my laptop, and I'm working on a story for a video upcoming. Oh, how are you? I hope you're doing well. Thank you again. Thanks for coming by. I want to clarify something from my last video on Bigfoot's trail. And I was bushwhacking. I went off trail, was just stomping through the woods, and I came to an access road. And I had mentioned in the video, I don't want to be seen by the park employees or park rangers, call them whatever the heck you want, that they were doing work. This park I'm in at Massasoit State Park in southeastern Massachusetts has just opened up to campsites, and this is common in state forest or state parks in my area, southeastern Massachusetts, where there's campsites. I just talked to a park employee who didn't want to be on YouTube. He did not want to be filmed. I asked, can I record you? He said, no, I don't want any of that. I said, okay. I put the phone down. I said, excuse me, what's your policy here on hiking off trail? He said, we don't want anybody hiking off trail. We have a problem here. It's only 1,200 acres, the forest here, which is small. Now, there's forested finger areas that branch out from here all the way to New Hampshire, up into the White Mountains. I've said that before, but this particular state park is only 1,200 acres, and there's campsites here. So I said, why is that? If you explain to me, please, why that is, to make sure that I'm on the same page as you guys. I explained to him, too, I made a video. I might have fibbed a bit. I told them I didn't want to go off trail, and I had people comment and say, Dave, why don't you go off trail? Anyways, I've got a handful of comments saying, what are you talking about? You can't go off the trail. Here's the reason. This gentleman just explained it to me really, really well. There's 1,200 acres here, and there's campsites. There were issues in the past, when this place was open, before they opened the campsites, that mountain bikers and hikers, backpackers, were coming out of the woods, and they're on someone's campsite. They're, oh, pardon me, excuse me, they're coming right through. A mountain bike will come through because there's small trails, there's game trails, there's marked trails. He said, we ask that people please stay on the marked trails, not only because of the growth. They don't want it trampled. This area gets very busy here. And because of the size and because of how close to the urban areas that are not far from here, it gets a lot of traffic in here. And the reason why they don't want you to go off trail is because of what I just said. They don't want you trampling through. They don't want people marching through the undergrowth. There's even trails that they close before they opened up the campsites here. They covered these trails in debris because some of them come out to a campsite. And these mountain bikers were flying through here and cutting through spots to get from one place to another and driving right through campsites. And it's the same thing for hikers walking through here. They don't want you just to bushwhack, is the exact word that this guy just used. We don't want people bushwhacking through, trampling the undergrowth because of the size of the area. They just don't want it, and they ask people not to go off the blazed trails. They don't even want you following game trails. They don't want you making new trails. They don't want new blaze trails. For me walking through here with a machete, hacking a new trail through the forest, they don't want that. He also said, it is different when you go up into the White Mountains or into the Berkshires or up into New Hampshire and Vermont, where you've got hundreds of square miles of forested area. Make all the trails you want. You're not going to bump into a campsite. Same thing with Miles Standish State Forest near me, about 40 minutes from me, where I hike there as well. There's actually a sign posted. They don't want you stopping on a trail. They don't want you setting up a picnic area. They have designated areas for that, for like a little day camp. If you want to just chill out and cook some mountain house food or hot dogs or whatever, they have specific sites for that. So I had a couple of comments of people that asked me, why, what are you talking about? Where I hike, you can go off trail. Well, that's good for you. And I'd like to know where that is. I had one gentleman comment, Dave, I think you're being dramatic. I live in Massachusetts, and I hike all kinds of places where you can go off trail. I totally believe that. And I actually wouldn't even mind hooking up with this gentleman. I'm sorry I forget your name, and I actually wouldn't even say your name because I haven't talked to you yet. But if you live in Mass, I wouldn't mind meeting you, and you can show me some stuff up in the I forget the area he said he hikes, but he said he knows game ward, or not game wards, park rangers and stuff like that have no problem with it. Well, that's up in that area. Just in this particular forest where I had just made that video is why I said I don't want to be seen by the Park Service, because they could have possibly said, get the heck out of here and don't come back, because we don't want people hiking off trail. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by. I just wanted to clear that up. And to the gentleman that said that I was being dramatic, thank you so much for commenting. I do appreciate it. And with me not giving any background of why I said I didn't want to be seen just coming out of the forest and crossing that access road, that's why. And they're still working on putting up speed limit signs on that access road. And they were that day driving up and down that road, digging holes next to the road with post hole diggers and working around me. And I had to wait out at one point before I made that video just to know that they weren't in the area. And if this gets seen by the Parks Service in this area, I don't often do that. Yes, I did it, and I apologize for it. But there are other areas I can hike that I can go to hike off trail. But in this particular state park, Massasoit, where I made that video on the trail of Bigfoot, if they had caught me coming out of the woods, not on a trail, they would not have been happy. This is like a second home to me. If they ever said, we don't want you coming back here because you hiked off trail, I would be very, very upset because of how much I love this area. So thank you guys for the ones that asked me about hiking off trail. I do appreciate it. And you know, to everybody who watched the video, I'm just trying to explain why I said in the video, I don't want to be seen, and I crossed the road kind of as quick as I could. Thank you so much, guys, for coming by, and I'll definitely see you on the next one.